class. Uh, Today we are going to start the remaining part of the lesson, Unit 1, Lesson 1. The topic, let's see the topic of the lesson. What was it? It was a world guided to good manners, how not to behave badly. Okay, we are going to continue this lesson in today's section. And let me remind you some points what we did in our first class. In our first class, what we did is we talked about some cultures, mostly about the dressing habits dressing habit and greeting habits, greeting cultures. Okay, and in today's class we read about some other cultures that people follow in different parts of the world. Okay, now let's start the class. Okay everyone, look at here. I think you can see my slides. Can you? Okay, let's go through the paragraph first. And the words given on the side, there are difficult words, okay, that are used in the paragraph. What are the words? Position and reverse. These words are in bold form in the paragraph. Yes, you can see it. And let's start with the paragraph first, what it says. Okay, in most countries an exchange of business cards is essential for all introductions. What does it say? See, for the introduction they exchange the business cards along with the introduction, right? And you should include your company name and your position in business card, right? For the introduction, business card is essential. And what is a business card? You might have already seen it. Yeah, a business card, a short introduction of the person is printed there, right? The position, the name of the company, right? Address, contact informations, these are printed in business card. And during the introduction, when you are going to introduce yourself with somebody else, you have to give your business card first and then start the introduction. And furthermore, what it says is that you should include your company name and your position in business card. That is the short identity. Okay, your short information, name of the company, where you work, what is your name, what is your position in the company, right? And your contact informations like phone numbers, emails, and so on. Is it all right? Okay, let's go forward. If you are going to a country where your language is not widely spoken, yes, we Nepalese people speak Nepali. People in Bhutan speak Bhutanese. People in India speak Hindi. People in China, they speak their mother tongue, right? But sometimes you go to the other countries where your mother tongue, the language you are speaking, is not used there, right? In such a case, okay, in such a case, you can get a reverse side printed in the local language. It says, it means that if you are going to Japan, your business card is printed in Nepali. You work here, you live here, you share this business card with the friends, yeah. But now you are going to Japan. Suppose, imagine that you are going to Japan and your same business card which is printed in Nepali, that does not work. So in such a condition, you have to print the business card both sides. In one side, that is in the mother tongue, and in the other side, you have to print it in the local language, the Japanese language. Suppose if you are going to some Arabian countries, that should be printed in their languages, right? So it will be easier for you to introduce. It means the people who you give to, right, they can read your information in their own language. That is the purpose. Okay, let's go forward. Here, the last sentence I think. In Japan, you must present your card with both hands, with the writing facing the person you are giving to. Okay, now the picture also says so. There are different ways of giving the greeting cards too. Right. All the countries do not follow the same convention, same way. They don't have the same way of giving the greeting cards. Look at the first picture. Both hands have been used. And look at the second picture. In the second picture, they are shaking their hands along with the exchange of business card. Isn't that? So, the first picture shows the Japanese. Okay. Let's move to the next paragraphs. There are two paragraphs. Okay. The words, difficult words that are used in the paragraph are given there. They are in the blue color. And one of the word, consider the first word is left. I left it, why I don't know. I think I forgot. But its meaning is take. Okay. And the other words are professional. The meaning is relating to profession. Its opposite meaning is also given there. That is amateur. Okay. And another word is colleagues. The co-workers, the people who work with you. And the next word is refuse, means deny, say no or reject. Its meaning is opposite meaning is accept. Okay. Now let's go through the paragraphs. In many countries, business hours are from 9 or 10 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. Right. In our country, the working hours, the office hours in different countries is different. Okay. Not all the countries follow the same office hour, same business hour. This paragraph talks about it, and it says that in our country too, from 10 to 4, that is office hours. And here business open early in the morning and they remain till late in the evening. But all the countries do not follow the same tradition. It talks about that the business hours is from 9 or 10 to 5 or 6. And in some countries such as Greece, Italy, Spain, some business close in the early afternoon for a couple of hours and then remain open till the evening. It says that. Example of some countries have been taken here. Italy, Spain, Greece. In these countries, some business close in early afternoon. Closing in the afternoon, and having the thing is made clear in the next paragraph. What did they do during that hour? And they remain open till the evening, late in the evening. What does it mean? They have a break during the daytime, right? And it says Japanese people consider it their professional duty to go out after work with colleagues to restaurants, bars or nightclubs. Let me revise the sentence. This is the Japanese culture. Japanese people consider it as their professional duty, right? Professional, the word is given there if you are confused, okay? And Japanese people consider it their professional duty to go out for work with colleagues to restaurant, bars and nightclubs after their work, after finishing their duty, after finishing their day work, right? they like to go to the restaurants for enjoyment, refreshment with their friends, co-workers. And the final sentence is that if you are invited, you should not refuse, even if you do not feel like it. Yes, although you don't like to join the group, right? It is compulsory. You cannot deny. You cannot refuse. You cannot say no in this culture. This culture here means in Japanese culture. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph now. There are some extra tips included in your book. Before entering to the tips, let us see the pictures given there. There are three pictures, okay? There are three pictures. They are the first picture, Barack Obama, and the second picture, I don't know the people who they are and where they are from, but we can just guess or imagine that they are Muslim people, right? Somewhere from somewhere, okay? And the word, difficult words are given there. How many words? Three words are given at the bottom, just below the pictures. And furthermore, one more picture is there, chow mein and chopsticks, okay, that are given there. And see what the tips say. Let's go through the tips. And before entering to the tips, let's discuss about the picture. Let's take time to discuss about the pictures. What is the difference between the first picture and second picture? Can you see? In the first picture, Barack Obama is having food, eating, and he is eating with his left hand, right? And in the second picture, there are two persons, they are eating with their right hand. And these tips, among one of the tips about given here, talks about this thing also, and about the picture, next picture, that is chow mein and chopsticks too. So I have inserted these pictures here. In Asian countries, it is acceptable to smack your lips when you eat. It means that the food is good. Yes, in the countries like Nepal, Bhutan, India, in Asian countries, right, the countries around our countries, right, if the food is tasty, we smack our lips, say, ah, like this. We smack our lips, say, ah, like this. Yeah, smack our lips. What does that mean? That means the food is good, the dish is tasty, right? And but in some countries, that is not acceptable, right? In other cultures, that may not be acceptable. Smacking the lips may supposed to be uncivilized, right? Then let's move to the next point. In France, you should not sit down in the cafe until you have shaken hands with everyone you know. Yes. Suppose you are invited for the party. You attended the party. Right. And before taking your seat there, first of all, you have to go around and have introductions, greet, handshake, before you take your seat, right? In France, which culture are we talking about? France. In Nepal too, in many cases, we also do the same. Whenever we are invited somewhere, we go there, we greet first, shake hands, have some sort of talks, ask about them, talk about ourselves, and then after we take seat. And the same culture is followed in France too. See, the French people, whenever they are invited to somewhere, they go, they greet, they shake their hands, with all the persons they know, and then only after then they take their seat, right? And the next one is in India and Middle East, you must never use the left hand for greetings, eating, or across your bowl. Yeah, okay. Now see what the point says. In India and Middle East, our country is included also there. While eating, we have to use our right hand. We are not supposed to eat with our left hand because it is supposed to be uncivilized. But let's go through the next point. What it says: in India and Middle East, you must never use the left hand for greetings, eatings, or across your bowl. What it says, just talk about the same picture. In our culture, in most of the Asian countries, right, we have to use our right hand for eating food. We have to use our right hand for greeting. While shaking hands, we do not use left hand. We use right hand. Isn't that? It is supposed to be uncivilized, right? It is supposed to be uncivilized if you use your left hand for eating and greetings. Okay, similar to that picture. Some people in the second picture using right hand, and the first picture using left hand. But in some parts of the world, that is not supposed, that is not taken into care, whichever hand you eat with, right? But in our country, in the eastern part of the world, Middle East mostly, we are supposed to use our right hand. Okay, and the last point, in China, your host keep refilling your dish unless you lay your chopsticks across your bowl. It means if you are going to China, okay, there the Chinese people, what is their culture? If you have eaten, you have finished eating, after finishing eating, you have to put the chopstick across the bowl, right? This is the bowl, you have to put across it, right? If you do not do so, what happens? The host will refill. Okay, so this is their culture, refilling it until you put the chopstick across the bowl. That is Japanese culture. Okay, let's move to the next. Here are also some pictures. What can you see there? The people in the first picture, they are standing very close to each other while speaking. Okay, while talking, the people in the first picture are standing very close to each other. And in the second picture, it shows the same thing. The boy and the girl, they are speaking very close to each other, right? And the third picture, the girl is eating with both hands. You know what she is eating, right? Hamburger. Okay. Now see, let's go through the tips given. In most South Americans and Mexicans like to stand very close to the person they are talking to. You should not back away. Yes, these pictures given here, that are South American and Mexican culture, right? Standing very close while speaking. And the next point, in Russia, you must match your host's drink for drink they will think you are unfriendly. Yes, it says before having a drink, you have to cheers, cheers, match before taking a drink. In Russia, it talks about Russian culture. The first, American and Mexican culture. What is? That is standing very close while speaking. And in Russia, before taking a drink, you have to say cheers, match the drink. And if you don't do so, then you are supposed to be unfriendly, right? And the final 2 points left there, that are, in Ireland, social events sometimes ends with singing and dancing. You might be asked to sing. Yes, that is, we also do this, right? Whenever we go somewhere to celebrate birthday parties and marriage ceremonies, and even in the picnics, at the end of after the celebrations, right after finishing almost to the end of the celebrations, what we do, we enjoy singing and dancing. And in Ireland too, right, before the departure, right, before leaving the invitation, right, you are requested to sing and dance and to take part there. So this is what their culture, the Irish culture. Okay, and now see the last point. We have come to the very final of the lesson. In America, you should eat your hamburger with both hands and as quickly as possible. Two things: eat your hamburger with both hands, as shown in the picture, and you have to eat it fast. Do not delay. Okay, as fast as you eat. Okay. Now, dear students, in our two classes, we talked about the cultures, different cultures. Mostly, we talked about dressing cultures, how people dress differently in different part of the world. Okay, I showed you some pictures too. And next, we read about the greeting cultures, how people greet, welcome, and greet each other. How people greet, welcome, and greet each other in different part of the world. The next thing, we talked about eating habits. Okay, and finally we discussed about some business cultures too. And yet the mostly what is the main theme of the lesson? Let's sum up with some points. The main theme of the lesson is, although the world is getting narrower day by day, because of the means of communications and transportations, okay, due to the telephone, bus, train, aeroplanes, internet, Facebook, this and that, all these means have narrowed down the world. It means that you can have very easy access to the people living in any corner of the world. But that does not mean all the people living in the world follow the same culture, right? They have same fooding habit. They speak same language. That does not mean so. People have different cultures, different traditions. They follow different languages. They speak different languages. They have own way of life. The way of life is different from one place to another place. And while going to those places where your culture is new, or where your culture is not followed, you must be careful while going to those countries. Otherwise, you become uncivilized if you could not act according to their culture, right? If you could not act according to their culture, you are supposed to be uncivilized. So before going to somewhere, you must at least have some knowledge about the culture of the place. Okay, this is what the main idea, main theme of the lesson. And now I request you to describe your own culture and write paragraphs. Right? Okay. Now for your practice, let's go ahead. Your home assignments, some questions have been put there, and there is the next exercise is match the following. I hope you have clear understanding of the lesson. I tried my best to explain you. Hope that you are very much clear with this and try this homework. Thank you and see you in the next class.